Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a little bit since we've been able to have a video uploaded of mine, but that's because I have been super busy over these last couple of weeks. I know I made a video before I left, and I said that I was getting married. I can't exactly remember how far out I was at that point, whether it was the day before or a week before, but anyways, it's been 2 weeks now after the wedding, and that was the best thing I've ever gone through. Like I loved the wedding. I loved everything about it. Like it was just such a fun experience, and I'm kind of sad it's done and over, but because it's over, I get to live this new life with my husband, and it's so weird to say that I have a husband. Like to go from living this life of we're dating, oh, we're engaged, but now it's a whole new experience in life, having a partner who is always with you, and I love that. Honestly, I love having him with me all the time. He's my best friend, and he makes life so much easier and so much nicer. And I'm just so lucky to have him in my life to help me through every day. But I want to talk. I think I want to start with the wedding and how I was feeling that morning, and move on from there and come to this point where we are now. So that morning, it was a Friday that we got married. I woke up and I was feeling very excited. Like, you hear some people are nervous and like anxious and shaky and like barely want to eat. I wasn't like that. I was hungry. I was ready to eat. I was really excited, and I just wanted 5 o'clock to come, and I wanted it to be in my wedding dress, and I wanted to walk down that aisle. I was so excited. Um, I had a little bit of nerve like right before, as I was standing alone with my grandfather, but other than that, I really wasn't nervous. I was just so excited to get that done and over with, because I wanted him to be my husband like a year and a half ago. And I think he feels the same way, but we also knew that we couldn't back then because that wasn't what was meant to be. But anyways, I went out to breakfast with my bridesmaids, and we had just a good time hanging out, a good time talking, and they made me laugh. I made them laugh. Like, we were all just having a good time. So anyways, then we came back to my apartment and we hung out for a little bit, and then we went over to the dollar store. They made me stay in the car because they were trying to get things to surprise me with. And so then after that, we all went over to the location where we were getting married, and we were there a little bit early, and so we ended up just sitting down, hanging out, putting all our things where we needed it to be, and our hairdressers finally showed up around noon, and then they got to work with everybody who was there to get their hair done. So they started with the bridesmaids and the girls, and our mothers, and then they finally did me and got my hair done. And I felt like a princess. Like, I felt very pretty. And while I was in the process of getting my hair done, my one bridesmaid was doing my girls' makeup. She didn't have to. She did that for fun. Like, and I was very grateful for her. We were all just going to do our own, but she stepped up and said, "Nope, I'll do it." So thank you. And anyways, so she did my makeup as well, and I really appreciate it because I thought I looked very pretty. And after that, we all played a bit of Uno with some cards, which is kind of funny to me. Like, you don't think that a bride and her bridesmaids are going to be playing Uno before her big day, but, you know. I was feeling all right. I'm like, yeah, let's play some games. Like, let's do it. And yeah, I did the typical like not seeing my husband until the moment I walked down the aisle. So I said goodbye to him the night of our rehearsal, and I did cry all the way home because I was not wanting to not see him, but I had to because that was something that we felt was necessary for the day of the wedding. And so yeah, I don't know exactly all they did, but I know they were getting ready in their own fashion and playing Switch games, and that's, I don't know what else they did, but I know I was too busy focusing on what I needed to do to get myself ready. Um, so after everything was ready, like makeup and hair wise, I finally put my dress on about, I think it was like 4:30 ish maybe. Um, and I did a first look with my girls, and they were all very happy to be able to see me fully done. And there were no tears, at least on my end. I don't know about the girls, but there were no tears on my end at that point. And then I moved on from that and went and did my first reveal with my grandpa, who walked me down the aisle. And every time I talk about this, I get very emotional because it was just it was very nice um, to see him turn and look at me and just bawl. um, then there were tears. There were definitely tears then. Because the two of us are very close, and it was very, it was a very nice moment for us to just share that, to see each other before, because he told me that if I didn't have a first reveal with him before the wedding, and he just made me see me walking down the aisle, he would cry. So I wanted to help him out a little bit, and yeah. Moving on from there, they snuck me out the front door to get some pictures outside of just me and outside, and then they brought me back in, and then finally it was time for the girls to go over and get lined up and get ready to go, and then it was my turn. I like I said, I remember feeling very nervous, like that for a split second right before I walked down, but I was just mainly focused on getting myself down to my husband and being with him and just having that moment of going, okay, there's a lot of people here right now, but this is what we're doing, and I could not be more excited. Um Anyways, so we had our wedding. I got my ring, which it just blends right into my engagement ring quite nicely. I don't know if you can really see it. I'm not going to take that one off because it is very special, obviously. And it just right into the back of my engagement ring. He has his, and obviously it's on his finger, but after the wedding, we hung out. We did just him and I greeting line. So we said hi to everybody who was at the wedding, and then we disappeared and went into the back with our friends at our bridal party. We snuck out to get some pictures. And it had actually been raining that morning, and so the ground was a bit muddy. But I wanted to get pictures outside because the rain had stopped and the sun was out. So we made this like octagon thing, and his dad put the words forever and always in it for us because that's kind of our little saying. And so we moved that outside, and we got some pictures in the sun. So my dress was just a bit muddy, but it's fine because the day turned out beautifully, and I love everything about the day that happened. So after we got our pictures, we came back in, did a few more. Then we got back in line, and we did the going back out into for the reception, and we did the song Dancing Queen, and my bridesmaids and their partners danced out, and then it was our turn, and they introduced us, and we went out, we danced, and yeah, so we did all the typical wedding stuff, like the first dances, and the bouquet toss and the garter toss and like all that stuff. And then finally, after all of that was over, we did one final song as with our friends and family. And then I was like, I've had enough. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go back and change. So he went around, said a few goodbyes, and then I went back to where I had originally got changed. I actually filmed a couple TikToks, so if you want to see those, you can go look. And then after that, I got changed into some comfy clothes, and then I was like, I'm out. I love y'all. Like, so I went back out, and he and I said goodbye to everybody and took off. So after that, we went to a hotel, a local hotel, just for the night, and then we went the next morning, and we do a lot for our church, so we set the church up for Sunday because we weren't going to be there. And then from there, we went to breakfast. And then after that, we left for New York. We went up to, I hope I'm saying this right, but Skaneateles. And we stayed in some suites there. Some bungalows, I guess, would be the right word. And we were there from Saturday to Thursday. And it was so much fun to be there. We went to we went up to Syracuse for a couple days. We went up to a mall where they had like glow golf on the bottom floor, and they had like this really cool like laser tag and bowling and all these games, and like this roller coaster ride thing that you got to put a VR headset on, and a mirror maze, and then like there was just all these really cool things. We made our own little Lego people, which are up here. And he made me and I made him. And then we made a future family member that we're hoping will one day exist. And after that, we had some lunch and we went back to the hotel and hung out for a bit. And then the next day, we went back to Skaneateles and we went to a zoo and aquarium there, and I took a lot of pictures, so we got pictures next to like monkeys and elephants, and it was really fun to just have that moment to be able to, do that with him. We saw an upside down traffic light, which was really cool, and then we went and saw a bunch of lakes just to have, be like, oh yeah, we were up at the Finger Lakes and we saw all the lakes. I don't think we saw all of them. I think we just seen 2, or 3. But we got to see a few of them. The third day, we went over to Ithaca, and we saw a couple different waterfalls. I can't say the first couple we saw because it was a really, like, long name that I can't pronounce. But Buttermilk by far, I think, was my favorite. It was just this really cool, like, big waterfall that you can actually swim in the bottom of it, and there's like a 3/4 mile trail up, so we went and did that so we could see from a bit higher up. And then after that, when we were all said and done, we went and saw another one that was really bigger than Buttermilk, but we couldn't really get to it because the way to get to it was closed. But it was such a cool experience nonetheless. And what day was that? Let me think. Because we didn't do anything we got in on Saturday and we stayed in. We didn't do anything. Sunday we did Syracuse. Monday we did Syracuse. Tuesday we went to Ithaca. And Wednesday we went to Skaneateles, like the heart of Skaneateles. And we went shopping in all the little downtown areas. We ate at a little bakery. And then after that, we kind of just hung out. We went and watched a couple of movies, and then we went back to the hotel and just hung out because we were pretty tired at that point, so we were ready to go home. And then, Thursday we traveled home and had Friday off to just be home as a married couple. And then the next weekend after that, it was Easter, so we've had a very, very busy couple of weeks. But I could not be more happy with how life has been, and honestly, being married is just, as long as it's to the right person, that is, being married is wonderful. Like, he and I just have a blast, and then at the end of the day, he doesn't have to go anywhere, and it's really nice to just have him with me. I do miss my family. I mean, and I've always missed my family since moving out, but we haven't seen like them, our families, in a while. Like, we haven't been able to sit down and hang out for a number of hours before having to leave. I got to see my grandparents for a little bit, and we've seen his family for a little bit, but we haven't seen everybody, like, you know. So I am excited for Sunday because I do get to see my family, and I'm sure he's excited that we get to see the family as well. But yeah, it's been crazy, exciting, crazy busy, and yeah, like I said, I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I'm happy that it's done because now he and I are married, and I'm no longer a Nichols, and that's great. Um, and the other thing I want to say before I end the video, I we the bungalows we stayed in, they gave us little rubber duckies, and so we brought those home, and there's only two of them, but anyway, we brought them home, and every day since then, we hide them. So, like, I think he did it no, I did it the first day. He took it the next day after that, and then I hid them again, and then he hid them again, and then I just hid them again. So every time we find them, we get to hide them. So I finally found the two that he hid. They were very good hiding spots. Like, I couldn't find it for the longest time, and I finally found it. So, but anyways, I just hid mine. So I wonder how long he'll actually take to find my ducks, because they're not like horribly hard to find. You just have to look, which is what I found with the last ones. They weren't horribly hard to find. I was just not looking in the right places. But anyways, if you guys like this video and you want to see me continue to like share how life has been or will be, I was going to make some Sims videos this morning, but I can't find my camera to do that. I'm wondering if he hid it somewhere or has it somewhere that I can't see it. So I'll have to ask him where that is so I can make some Sims videos. Because my legacy, current family video or household is getting bigger. It's getting I'm on a different, or I'm going to be on a different gen here in a couple of days in the game. And, yeah. So I'd like to share that. I just don't know where my camera is, so. But anyways, if y'all want to see more videos from me and my life, and, I'm probably going to continue sharing anyway, just because I do this for myself. So that way in the future, I can look back on things that have happened in my life and go, oh, I do remember that. And yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.